So when I first started drawing, I thought that every part of every sketch had to be rendered like a photograph. Every tiny detail had to be rendered realistically. Whereas it taught me a lot, it also made my drawings take a lot longer than they needed to. Today, I'll show you the techniques that changed everything, helping you create more depth with less work. So some of these techniques were developed when I was out drawing trees. I would sit there with a sketchbook for hours rendering every tiny detail, and it just wasn't efficient. But these days I'd start off with a really loose sketch, just basically getting the lines of the shape in. There's no sense of depth, there's no detail, there's no 3D quality to it. Only a sense of the position of some of the details. It'd be very easy to pick one of the back limbs of the tree and really get into the textures and all those little details, leaves, twigs, all the rest of it, and actually you're going to bring it too far forwards, whereas really you want perhaps the foreground limbs of the tree to get our attention a bit more. So that can be achieved with line weight, line thickness, tone and contrast. So I know, for example, I want this limb to come further forward. So typically if I want this to jut further forward, then I'll give it a heavier, thicker, darker line. Now already without doing anything else, this part of the tree now looks further forward compared to the one behind it, for example. Then we can go to another area. Perhaps it juts out at the bottom, part of a tree root system. And then as it gets further up, further away from us, it gets lighter. We can also have the lines being thicker when they're closer to us and thinner as they go further away. And then when it comes to rendering something that perhaps we want to push a little bit further back, pressing lightly and just shading out the form actually has a really good way of still representing it. We're not ignoring it, giving it a tonal balance, but we're reducing the tone down to a more neutral, consistent tone. It might even be you go in with an eraser and you remove some of those strong lines just to help with the knocking it back even further. It's not to say we can't have any lines in the background, but just make them a little bit softer. Maybe as they kind of join at a similar point to where this does, we have it kind of becoming similar. Then as it goes further away, that line becomes thinner and it becomes lighter. Get a general sense for the shape and the direction of texture. It might just curve round, might straighten up at this point, and then it changes direction, for example. And then we can start to just sketch in that directionality. Doesn't necessarily need to be every little piece of the texture, but it helps just represent the direction of the actual part of the tree. So you feel it now curve round. We obviously might have some real shading to put in there, and adding bits of it just really can accentuate what we've already got. It might be that this part of the tree has a bit more of a shadow on one side, and that's fine, we can still do that. The underside might have a bit of shading, and now we're definitely getting a sense that this comes further towards us than this one back here. And you can apply that principle across all of the different shapes, really understand the more it comes towards us, the more contrast between light and dark there's going to be. The further back, the more generic, the more kind of neutral that is going to be. And it doesn't matter if you can see the sketch lines, it's a bit more scribbled in. We're trying to convey the form rather than make it look like a photograph. All drawing really is a kind of abstraction of reality. We're interpreting the real world. We're not actually a camera, so we can't render it in as a complete photograph. We're selecting what's important, and that is part of the sketching process. So it might be that branches back here are really faint. Obviously in nature, if you do look at things in the distance, you're going to have atmosphere that makes tones more neutral, softer tones in the distance. And as you get closer, you get more of those black tones, certainly in daylight anyway. And then you got a sort of a transition point here where it goes from one to the other. So again, you can just have it slowly transition from one to the next. Then we can have another one here, for example, thicker line, bring it further forward. And again, we're representing textures. And there may be a particularly sort of gnarly, bumpy bit, has a little twig coming off it, stumpy section you want to spend a bit longer on. And if there's any details that are super important, then obviously spend the time to add them. But if it's the overall form and effect that you're going for, sometimes this type of sketching can work better. Just capture the shapes. The lines capture the shape well enough. The rest just helps describe depth and direction. We can still have some of those directional kind of lines for the distance, but you can see there is a sense of some elements being further back. So we might have another one in here. In the interest of sketching it in quickly, I might even forego the outlines altogether. Just sketching in the general shape of certain branches, just with the tone, is a technique that I might use. Is to show you this in a more detailed sketch that did take longer, admittedly, but the techniques are still there and still present. So these ribs on the skeleton study are meant to project towards us, so they've got really heavy lines, whereas these ones are where the ribs have curved round and they are very much more the other and back part of the structure, so they don't have any of the dark tone details, they're just generally in there and they don't have the dark bold lines, and it gives the sense that they are further back. These ones that are a little bit further forward are a darker tone with just a slightly bolder line there to represent them. Whereas in a study like this, there aren't any real outlines to speak of, and to convey all of that depth, then every little bit of texture and shading has to be present, which can be a really nice thing to do, but it takes a lot longer. And you can see this study wasn't even finished anyway. Sometimes it's not all obvious, but there'll be subtle areas. This bit of the jaw of the skull, this bit was further forward. It has a bold black line, dark shading, light shading, so generally a lot more contrast compared to the other part of the jaw. This section that is further back, you can see it's all one tone and there's no bold line surrounding it. It gives the sense that it's further back. And that could be the same for all the little parts of the vertebrae. This bit of the vertebrae is a little bit further back than these parts, so it still has a line, but it's a fainter line compared to this black. Here's a strange little object on the neck. It is actually a bone, although it looks like it has little teeth. It is just a little bone in part of the neck. You can see that this section looks further back because the lines are more grey. This section, the lines are black, projects forward. It also has white and black. That doesn't. But you can see much of the shading is scribbled in. It doesn't have to be neat. It is important perhaps that we get those lines, the bold lines, as accurate as we can get them. Just like I've spent extra care on these black lines, but the rest can be a little bit scribbled in. If I was going to spend some extra time, I might spend it just on this bit of the tree, just getting some little textures in here. I'm not using a reference, so therefore I haven't got anything specific to go into a huge amount of detail with, but you can see just adding a little bit more texture into an area perhaps I really want to focus upon. Maybe down here in the foreground, some tree bark textures that run along this way too, just to give us a sense. There's more of the detail. We're using those nice dark tones, but this is just to demonstrate the art of sketching, really. It's not about the finished piece, it's about understanding how to construct something so that you understand it later. Most sketching, especially when you're out and you need to capture something quickly, is about capturing the essence, the shape, the depth, which bits come towards us, which bits go further away, capturing it quickly so you can take it home. And if it's not the finished outcome itself, well, it can be used to inform how you develop it into a painting or a more detailed drawing. Sometimes this sketchy kind of style can be more dynamic and more interesting for its flaws, for its scruffiness, because somehow it manages to convey the depth, the atmosphere in a more energetic way than something that captures every single tiny detail equally across the image. This is an aesthetic that I use in all of my doodles, all of my sketches moving forward. I hope that demonstration has been useful. If you take away one message from this video, I would say that it is that the goal isn't to draw less, it's to decide where your effort matters the most. Does your energy really matter the most in that background element, or does it belong here in a detailed area in the foreground? Use line weight, use line thickness, use tone darkness, use scribbles, use carefully controlled details, all of these to create difference. I think that's the most important aspect. I hope that's been useful. I might do more drawing tips and technique videos in the future. Otherwise, expect my full landscape rendering tutorial as usual next Sunday. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I shall see you back here soon. Bye for now.